Brad, I have seen the growth in your business, Vern and Rob. I mean, in just a short space of time, you guys have really grown, and I'm super proud of you. And now to think about it, that we're actually on the same playing field, we're having access to the same type of people. We're getting ready to go to Mexico on a leadership conference. Like, it's just crazy. So kudos to you. Oh my God, this is amazing. But guys, it just goes to show that you could be a trainee, you could be an associate. How bad do you want to win? Right? That's the question. How bad do you want to win? Do you want to win so bad enough that you're going to do whatever it takes? Right? And again, don't miss the message. Where did she saw me? Where did she saw me speak on stage? It wasn't at home. She wasn't home. She was where? Where was she? If you guys are listening, where was she? Where did Vern see me speak?
Convention.
At a convention, right? So when you come to convention and you see what you see and you're in the room, there's magic, right? If she had seen me from her home in California, it probably wouldn't have had an effect on her, right? And convention did the same thing for me. My first convention that I went to, I ended up being on stage talking to thousands of people, right? Because it was something that I saw in other people. And again, I didn't see this staying in my house on a Zoom. You gotta move, right? When you come to big events, you make big decisions because there's something that just hits you, but in a good way. That makes you want to stretch. That makes you want to grow. That makes you want to have more. Because a lot of times we come into this business and we think we're just gonna make $2,000-3,000, and that's it. It's more than $2,000-3,000. At some point, it's not even about the money, it's about the impact that we make on people's lives. And speaking of impact, I invited a couple of guests, and I just want to give a shout out. Charlene, one of my very good friends that we grew up in Albiston. And if you guys know anything about Guyana, that is a rough place, but today we're leveling up and I get to help her and her husband and her kids. It's truly a humbling blessing. I never take it lightly because I don't even know that I would have ever been in this position to help people with their finance, right? So thanks for coming on, Charlene. I also see another one of my very good Guyanese friend, Charmaine, who is an amazing individual. She does a lot of nonprofit work for our community. She's really big on giving back to the homeless community. She's always doing stuff for women from battered, sheltered, and abusive relationship. Really a great person to connect with. And then also I see Yolanda, right, who also was an accountant and still doing some accounting work. So I'm so happy. And then I do see India, who I had an opportunity to meet 2 Sundays ago at her baby shower, right? And y'all already know how I feel when I see pregnant women or little kids running around. And the first thing I want to tell them is, hey, let me show you how to make your kids a millionaire baby. So India is on tonight to learn what was I talking about. So without further ado, I'm going to share my PowerPoint, right? And tonight we're going to be talking about our flagship product, something that I have never ever heard of before prior to coming to WFG. So tonight's module is about financial education, how to build and accumulate wealth. So I want you guys to think of, just pick the 3 most important things that are important to you. Are you here because you want to learn to save and grow your money? Maybe save for your kids. And if you have no kids like me, get this information to share with your siblings, your nieces, your nephew, your aunties, your cousin, or somebody else, your neighbor child, right? Or is it that you want to retire comfortably, right? Statistics shows that the average 401k has less than $250,000. So if we have less than $250,000, is that going to be enough for 20 years in retirement? No, it's not. So there's a retirement crisis. How about maybe saving for protecting your family income, right? If we pass away prematurely. I know a family member who has another family member who passed away from cancer. had a home, everything. Everything was gone. The kids had to move out of the house and now go live with family members, right? Protecting your family's income. Or could it be protecting your family from any unforeseen setbacks? Listen, things are going to happen. For a human being, life has ups, life has downs. And two things for sure is going to happen. We're going to get sick, we're going to die. So if we cannot control those things, we need to put things in place to control those things. Sickness and death. So you'll never be free until you're financially free. And I want to jump into 3 rules when it comes to your money, right? 3 rules. You see, me graduating from NYU, I never even learned any of these things, right? How do you go to Ivy League university in the country and they don't teach you about money? They don't teach you how to save, how to grow, how to protect this money, and they're teaching us to get a great career and go work for this money. But now we don't know how to keep it or grow it. Well, the first rule is called compound interest. And this is by one of my all-time favorite uncle, right? Can anybody tell me who's the person that invented this rule? Put it in the chat. Who invented this rule? Of course, Uncle Albert Einstein, right? The magic of compound interest. Most people don't even know what compound interest is. In simple terms, it's interest upon interest upon interest. So how do we know how much years it's going to take your money to double? Take the number 72 and you divide it by the interest. That will give you how many years your money is going to take to double. So let's put some numbers in place. Let's say you have your money somewhere earning 4%. 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. So assuming you have 10,000 today, 18 years, it doubles to 20, and another 18 years, it doubles to 40. Now, can anybody retire in 36 years with $40,000? No, right? No, you cannot. Not in New York. I don't know any states in the country that would allow you to retire comfortably with $40,000. Now let's go to the far right. Let's say we're getting 12%. 72 divided by 12 is 6 years. A lot better. Your 10,000 today will only take 6 years before it doubles to 20, whereas the other person who was getting 4%, his money has to take 18 years. So here you have 2 individuals, one getting 4%, and they think they're doing great. The other one getting 12% because they know compound interest. They've sat with one of us, and we've educated them how money works. Both individuals, 36 years later, one is going to have a whopping $640,000. Meanwhile, the other person is going to be broke, like flat out broke. What are you going to do with $40,000 with inflation, right? So there's a huge difference between 4% and 12%. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but they're paying for this. How? Why? Your debt, credit card, student loan, your debt, the interest is compounding on you. So if you're borrowing money from your credit card, pay it back before it doubles. Always take 72, divide it by the rate of return or the interest, and pay it off before it doubles. Now, when I first got into this industry, I never understood. When I sat with clients, they would tell me, I'm in debt for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. And I'm like, how, right? Now I know how. If you don't apply these numbers to your debt, you're going to be in debt very long because you do not know that you got to hurry and pay it off before it doubles, right? The next rule is about taxes. And boy, everybody got it wrong here. Only the 1% got this right. Rich people got it right. They know how to play the tax game. I was reading an article. Donald Trump buried his wife in his golf backyard just because he wanted to avoid taxes. And it's legal. It's absolutely legal, right? But he can afford it. Somebody like Donald Trump can afford it, but yet still he's still looking for any loophole legally to not pay taxes. Ludicrous when I read that article. And it's true, right? So we got to understand how to play the tax game. If you put your money in a checking account, saving, CD, stocks, mutual fund, well, what's happening? As your money grow in these accounts, you're paying tax. So you already pay tax on your income. You put it in your checking account, and the little bit itty, whatever it grows to, now you're going to pay tax on the growth. Or maybe you're in the stock market and maybe your stock went up and you're going to pay tax on the growth. So you see, this way, we're constantly paying tax on our money. Let's talk about the folks who have a job. If you have a job and they're giving you a 401k, 403b, or any retirement saving account, it's a tax later account. So all of these accounts, you're not paying tax in the beginning. They tell us pay tax on the end. Here's why this is a problem. I'm going to bring you back to this diagram. Do we want to pay tax on $10,000 when the money is little? Or do we want to pay tax on $640,000 when the money gets bigger? Even if tax remains the same, which will never, ever remain the same, we're going to be paying more taxes later. So why don't most people know about this? As long as we don't know who is taxing this money. If we don't understand this rule, and we're all being muscled into pay it later, don't pay tax now. Who is taxing this money later? The government is. So that's why we don't know, because they're not going to make it a mandatory thing for us to learn not to pay unnecessary tax or your more share of taxes. So when people say, oh, that I've never heard about this, how come? Well, guess who's pulling the strings? They don't want us to know this information. Because if we know it, they're not going to be able to tax us on the back end, because we would pay the tax up front when the money is little today. Now, tax advantage is where we all should be. But again, you don't know what you don't know. When you put your money in any one of these accounts, you're going to pay tax today on the money. So later, 36 years later, 20 years later, or whatever it is, you're good. Your money has grown, but Uncle Sam has to pass us and go to these guys over here because they never pay tax. We pay the tax going in because we're smart, right? So understanding where to put your money to get the most benefits when it comes to taxes is so important. I sit with clients that have millions of dollars and they tell me that I'm good. And when we do this part here, you know where their millions are sitting? Tax now, tax later. Very, very little. They may have like a small Roth IRA, or they may have something for their kids. But the majority of their money is sitting in the tax now and a tax later vehicle. So they are 100% going to be paying more taxes later, right? Now let's look at our investment options. There's 3 places you can put your money, right? You can put your money in the bank. There, it is safely losing. How? Inflation. What is the average interest rate that the banks are giving us? 0 something, right? Even if it's 1%. Now that we've learned the rule of 72, 72 divided by 1 is 72 years. So for the folks that got a lot of money sitting in the bank, even if they're earning 1%, they will probably never see that money double in their lifetime. Because 72 divided by 1 is 72 years, right? So if you have your money in the bank, it is safe, but it's safely losing to inflation. It's not going to grow a lot, right? Because the interest is nothing. If you put it in the stock market, which is known as variable, oh boy, it can grow all right. But just as how you go up, you're gonna come down guaranteed, because there is nothing safe about the stock market. I'm gonna say that again. There is nothing safe about the stock market. A client of mine called me tonight and she said, Odette, I want to do some additional stuff, additional investment. What do you recommend? And I said, well, I mean, we've already put some strategies in place, but now if you want to play with the market where you can make money, but you could also lose, and that's not going to be on my conscience. I'm telling you up front, you're going to lose, right? It's your call, right? So with the stock market, yes, you can make money, but also know that you will lose money, because there is nothing guaranteed about the stock market. What if you could have both cake and bake? What if you could have both safety and growth? Most people don't know that they can have safety and growth. And this is why we do these workshops. This is why we do these webinars. This is why we're on a mission and a crusade to educate our community. Because you absolutely 100% can have safety and growth on your money. Where? In index accounts. And I'm not talking about your mutual index fund. No. These are index universal life, cash value life insurance. Insurance companies have realized many years ago that people want to grow their money, but they also want to make sure that their money is safe. And insurance by nature guarantees any risk. Insurance company by nature guarantees any risk. So you can never lose with an index strategy. Now, your money is safe and your money is growing. So let's talk about this IUL, which stands for Index Universal Life. And I'm going to say it. If you don't have one, you're dropping your coins. I'm going to forever say that. I don't care how much money people have. If you do not have an IUL, which gives you growth on your money, which gives you protection on your money, meaning it is safe, it is tax-free that you can touch at any age. On top of it, you get a life insurance, long-term care, critical and terminal. Oh boy, you're dropping your coins. I will never be unapologetic about that. Everybody, if they can afford it and if they qualify and they're healthy, needs to have this strategy in their portfolio, because this is your financial foundation. Your money has to grow. Your money should be safe. It doesn't matter what the stock market does. It doesn't matter what the president says. You are never, ever losing money. In fact, you're going to make money when the market is down. I'm sure we've all heard people say, you know, when the stock market is down, some people are still making money. Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett, my second uncle, talks about this principle. Rule number 1 to investment, never lose money. Rule number 2, remember rule number 1, never ever lose money. So why do we think it's okay to lose money in order to make money? You know why? Because we don't know what we don't know. No one has ever sat with us and educated us on these concepts. Now, tax-free money. Let's talk about tax-free money. If both of us has $1 million and your $1 million is sitting in an account that has to be taxed, do you still have $1 million? 40 to 50% is going to go in taxes. No, you do not have $1 million. But if my $1 million is sitting in a tax-free strategy like an IUL, you bet I got $1 million. No tax. It's tax-free at any age. On top of it, I'm going to get life insurance because at some point I'm going to die. On top of it, I'm getting long-term care, critical and terminal because at some point I'm going to get sick. Guys, are you kidding me? Everybody deserves a strategy like this because everybody's going to get sick at some point and everybody's going to die at some point. Let's do it the right way. Protect your family. If you pass away prematurely, protect your health. if you get sick, God forbid. No one ever saw COVID coming. There's so many more other illnesses that may pop up in our lifetime that we never saw coming. Are you prepared for it financially? Let's protect our health, guys. And make no mistake, this is not your health insurance either. Because I have a client that tells me, oh, Dad, I got health insurance. No. This is not health insurance, honey. Health insurance is going to pay the doctor. Health insurance is going to pay the facility. Health insurance is going to pay the hospital. Who's paying you? Do you have anything in your financial house that's going to pay you? God forbid you get sick. Because the kids still got to go to school. The mortgage still got to get paid. Groceries still got to be in the fridge. Gas still got to be in the car. Who's paying you if you get sick? Let's protect our health. And most importantly, if these two things don't happen no time soon, what are we protecting, people? We're protecting our money. If anybody ever sues you, they can't get a dime from you when you have your money in this asset. I had a client of mine 4 years ago. She was about to go through a divorce. And she called me. And she said, oh, Daddy, this is the deal. I make $80,000 a month in my business. And now with this divorce, I'm going to have to split everything. Even though I make more money than my husband. What can I do? We opened 3 of these bad boys for her. 3 of these bad boys for her. This is off the table now. The judge cannot say this is splitting. This is off the table. So you're protecting your money. When I sit with husband and wife, they both got to get their own strategy. Because guess what? We don't know what's going to happen in the future. This is never an equation for distribution or splitting. No. Right? So the IUL gives you a guarantee floor of 0.75. What does this mean? You can never, ever, ever, ever lose money. Even in a down market, you're still going to make money. 0.75. Guarantee. And you also have a 15% cap. What does this mean? Whatever the market does, you can reap that benefit up to 15% cap. So yes, if the market is doing more than 15, you will not get more than 15, but you're also not losing. You're also never ever losing. So in 2002, the market was down 25%. Somebody who had a strategy in the IUL would have never lost a dime, but also gained 0.75. So you kept all your gains from the year prior. 2008, the market was down 40%. So yes, there's years when we're making money, when we're growing, but watch out for the years when it's a negative, because the negative is wiping out all the positive gains that you had prior. So in 2008, when it was a bloodbath, negative 40, what was the person with an IUL getting? 0.75. So if you do a 20-year look back, somebody who started with 10,000 saving or investing in a traditional accounts, mutual funds, 401k, IRAs, etc., their 10,000 grew, yes. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up. Their 10,000 would have grown to 19,000. But guess what? That 19,000 has to get taxed now. It has to get taxed. Whereas the person who was saving in the IUL, his 10,000 grew to almost 50,000. And this 50,000 is net, tax-free. And all along the way, for the previous 20 years, if they had passed away, a death benefit paid out. If they had gotten sick, they had money coming to them. Don't you guys wish you knew about this sooner? Right? So, IUL performs about 8 to 9%, tax-free. Again, the floor is 0.75. They're giving us more than the banks, because banks are not even giving us 0.75. And you have a cap of 15%. So we're averaging about 8 to 9% growth on your money. Now let's look at what this looks like in real life for a human person. Let's say Jenny B. Rich. She is a female, 30 years old, perfect health, preferred elite, top health. We don't know what's going to happen when she's 60. You got to get these things while you're young and healthy. That's the first thing I want you to know. She's 30, preferred elite, best health rating. She takes out a $500,000 IUL, saving $600 a month. Why? Because this type of account is not about paying. It's a different mindset. It's about saving money. Now, she saves $600 a month, which is $7,200 per year, and she started at 30. Now, when she's 40 years old, she contributes 72. She can access or touch 68, right? Let's continue. Now, when she's 50, she contributed 144, and she can touch 238. It grew. At 60 years old, she contributed 216,000, and it is north of $500,000, almost 600,000 people, and this is tax-free money. And again, if she had gotten sick or passed away prematurely, how much money pays out? There's a death benefit attached. Now, she's 66. She's ready to retire. She's turning on the income. This is a lifetime that she's going to be able to take out $48,000 annually for her retirement income. Now she's cashing out. This is why I say with these type of policy, this is not a debt policy that you see as something you pay and then when you die your family get the money. No, she could have touched this money all throughout her lifetime. Buy a house, send her kids to college, start a business, or whatever she wants to touch the money for, right? And now she has retirement income. She's able to pull out $48,000 annually to help her retirement. Is this a deal or what? Amazing. Now, let's talk about the kids. And I know this is why Andy is on, because I told her, hey, let's put some stuff in place for your kids, right? So he's not born as yet. Actually, they're twins. And Andy, I think it's twins you're having, right? I think you said twins. Okay, so female, rich kid, okay? Female, 1-year-old. Now, I had a pastor who told me back in the days, well, Dada, why would I want to put a life insurance on my child? Like, that's morbid. No. Not this type of policy, honey. Not this type of policy. You want to stack up on this type because it's not about debt. It's about setting your child up to be financially well off. So this mom is saving $300 a month. Boy, that little 1-year-old net worth is much more than a lot of adults. That's a $500,000 baby creeping and crawling around your house, okay? He is not going far. He's staying right next to mama, okay? No sleepover for you because that's a $500,000 baby. You ain't going nowhere but grandma's house and back. So $300 we're saving for Richie Rich Kid. Now, when this child is 11 years old, they contributed 36, they can touch 29. Let's continue. First event that most people will have, a big financial expense, is college. It's college. So when they're 21, 22, they can pull money out from this account and pay off if they accrued any student loan. So right off the bat, they're starting their adult life with a plus. While their friends and family or their classmates are now having to get any job to pay back those student loans, they don't have any student loan because they can take money out from here to pay off the student loan. And because they're smart, when you hide the money in an IUL, this is not seen as an asset when you do your financial aid. So guess what? Financial aid is not going to see this money. And because they don't see this, and we educate our clients, don't put anything in your child's name, not even a bank account. On paper, it shows like the child is broke, but boy, the child is stacking, right? So they can pull money out from here. Now, some of you may or may not know P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, or whatever he calls himself now. People were mad with him that his kids were able to get free money. Now, yeah, I could probably kind of understand, but because I do this for a living, I know what they're doing. P. Diddy's not broke. They have assets, they have money, but they know how to hide the money. So when we do financial aid, we are showing the government that we got a lot of money. So his kids was able to get free money. I don't blame him, right? Put yourself in the know and learn these strategies so you could do the same for your kids. Now when this child is 40, right? Look at this. They contributed $53,000 just by putting away $300 every month. Now it has grown to $204,000. And listen, I tell all my clients, if your kids decides they don't want to walk a straight line, they want to smoke hookah, they want to party, and they don't want to do the right thing, whose account is this to begin with? Do you have to give this money to your kids? Hell to the no. This is your money first. You don't have to give them a penny if you don't want to. So this is why parents would want to sock away $300, $400, $500. I am so proud of my client that's on tonight. She's dropping $500 for her 13-year-old because she gets it. She understands that this is my money first. I'm ensuring my child's life, yes. And this is money that I can help them with in the future, yes. But I don't have to give them a penny if I don't want to, right? Now at 50 years old, contributed 89, it's almost $500,000. Where can you get these strategies where whatever you're putting in, it's ridiculous how much you're gonna take out? At 55, the parents would have contributed $107,000, and you have almost $600,000, more than $500,000. This is how you set your kids up right for life. Not opening a stupid bond or a stupid saving account. And I could say that because I've done it. I've done it for my nieces and nephew. And ask me where the stupid bond is. But I was so happy to save for him when he was born. I didn't know better. Now, everybody get in the IUL. That's my gift for your birthday. Everybody get in the IUL. No more savings, no more this, no more that, because it is crap. This is how you set your kids up to be successfully financially. And again, it's your money. See, if I was doing this when Corey was just one, boy, I would have had a lot of money, right? Would have had more money because he would have had his own. I have my own. Everybody got their own IUL and everybody's stacking it up, right? And because he's a good kid, I would have pulled out a couple of hundreds from here and pay off a student loan, which I'm still going to do, right? This is how you save for your kids the right way. Not opening a bank account or putting money in a 529. Those things are going to be seen as assets. And whether your child want to go to college or not, it's going to hurt them from getting free money. This is where you save it. Now this child is 70 years old. It's like we're planning their entire future until they die. Now they're 70 years old, and this child can cash out $80,000 a year for their retirement. This is how you build generational wealth. Because God forbid, when we die, let me bring this back. When we die, right? The death benefit, who is that going to? It's going to go to somebody, right? A lot of us on this call, when we were born, there was no money waiting for us. When we turned an adult, there was no money waiting for us. There was no money to send us to college. There was no money to start a business. You get to do this with strategies like this, right? So what does it look like? I have clients saving whatever. It's whatever you want to save, how much you can save. The beauty with these accounts, you can increase. You can start with what you're comfortable with, and as you make more money, you increase it. So somebody saving $200. Imagine if you were saving $200 in an IUL. 30 years ago, now you would have almost $300,000. How many people got $300,000 tax-free sitting anywhere? When 401k, right? 401k is showing the average 401k don't even have 300,000. And these people work hard. They had great jobs, right? So if we knew this information and we were just saving just $200, hey mom, my mom is on Facebook Live. If my mom was saving $200, this is how much money she could have had by now. But we don't know this information, and this is why I'm super passionate to make sure everybody knows this information. If you're saving $300, 30 years now, almost $500,000. And again, start with whatever you're comfortable with and increase it as time goes by. More money you make, more money you save. But most people, they make more money, they want to spend more money. No, the more you make, the more you save and invest and grow it. So if you could put away 500, guess what? In 30 years, you're looking at almost 800,000. So every one of us on this call, we know people with kids. Have those people contact us so we could share this with them. Because even though they're saving for their kids, they're really saving for themselves. Because if my mom was saving this for me, I don't need this right now. This could be her retirement income. Right? So in closing, we need you guys to take action. Those of you that are guests on tonight, please make sure you get in touch with the person who invited you when we hang up this Zoom. Call the person and say, hey, I like what I heard, or maybe I have some questions, or I want to start saving in one of those things. How do I get it? We're going to ask you some questions. We're going to do the application and submit it, right? Get a free personal financial strategy for tax-free passive income. This is going to be an income, right? Everyone that's on our training who are part of our business, make sure you attend all weekly trainings. Communicate with your trainer every day. Lock arms. You heard what Usha said in the beginning. That's why she's so good today. She's a quick learner, and we lock arms every day, and she's flying right now, right? If you're not licensed, schedule your license, because next month, right? Next month is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Life Insurance Awareness Month. So we're going to be calling people, hey, you got a policy? Great. Let's do a financial review. Let's make sure you have the best. Let's make sure you have long-term care. Let's make sure your money is stacking. Right? Get your license. If you don't have your license, attend the boot camp. We have a boot camp coming up this Sunday. And also, set up 3 appointments. You're going to learn this thing by sitting in the field, by seeing this presentation, by hearing the questions people are asking, the objection question, how we answer it, why we recommend what we recommend, what do they have for themselves. This is how you're going to learn the business, right? Set up some appointments and complete your 117. One business partner, one account in your first 7 days, or in 7 days. And with that being said, we are rocking and rolling. I also want to invite you guys to Wednesday, which is going to be our next webinar. And this time we're going to show you how to protect your home, how to set up your will, why everybody needs a will. I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you have $100, because guess what? You may have $100 today, but who knows what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month. So make sure that you guys save the Zoom code. Come back on Wednesday, 9 p.m. and bring somebody with you. Let them learn this information. All we want to do is share the info, because we know that that when we share this info with you and you're ready, you're going to come back to us. Because if we don't tell you, I promise you, you're not going to hear this. Because people aren't talking about this. Nobody's talking about their money. Nobody even want to talk about saving. People don't want to talk about losing money. They're scared to look at their 401k statement. Right? So if you don't hear it from us, you're not going to hear it. And if you do hear it from us, don't let it fall on deaf ears. Take heed. If you're saving money right now, you're going to be saving it in a tax later or a tax now account. And if you are in a tax advantage, very minimal, because you don't know what you don't know. But when you sit with one of us, we're going to educate you first. We are big on financial education. I don't care if I sit with 10 families and they don't do anything. You know what? I educated them. Because I know, and it's been happening over and over, that when they're ready, they're going to call me. Because now they have the education. Now they know better. Now they understand. I had a client call me again today. I've already helped her. But every time she has something to do with money, she's calling me. Hey, Odetta, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think? Guess what? You want to be that go-to person to your clients, right? So we may sit with some clients and they're not ready yet, but you've done your job. You've educated that person, because I promise you, it's a blessing to sit with us so that we could share this information with them. When people tell you they have a life insurance or they got money or they got good, don't even think about that. Because 9 out of 10 times when we share just the 3 rules of money and they understand where their money is set in, they're not good. I don't care if it's $1 million. I don't care if it's $1 million. If your $1 million is sitting in a tax now and a tax later account, you're not good. Because you're going to lose money. You're losing money to inflation. You're losing money to taxes. What do you have left? Right? I'm super passionate about this business. So Vern, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And please get in touch with the person who invited you if you have any questions or you want to get one of these strategies, because everybody needs an IUL as part of your portfolio.
Wow, guys. I have to say, Odetta always trains above and beyond. Above and beyond. I wish I could put her in my pocket for every appointment I have, because I know she's closing all of her appointments. And so, how do you guys get good?